Do you feel like lately your energy doesn't last the whole day, as if your body is always 2 steps behind what life demands from you? Maybe this feeling doesn't come from age, but from what we put on our plate or forget to put there. There's a group of foods as ancient as they are wise that can give your body not just vitality, but a vibrant serenity that carries you into your 90s and beyond. Imagine waking up and feeling your body light, alert, as if every cell had deeply rested, as if there were an invisible, yet constant source of vital energy within you. And if that image stirred something in on you, like this video, and share it with someone who's also tired of feeling tired. Because the secret to longevity with well-being isn't in magic formulas, but in ancient gestures, small ones, repeated every day. Vital green, nutrition that cleans and strengthens from the blood up. Have you ever felt your body heavy first thing in the morning, even without having made any effort the day before? It's like something invisible is weighing you down inside, a fatigue that can't be explained just by age. Sometimes it's the blood that's tired. And what few people realize is that vitality starts there, in what flows silently within us. A light body begins with clean blood. And that, curiously, can come from greens. Bitter greens, raw leaves, green juices. They don't seem appealing at first glance, but they carry a silent alchemy. Spinach, arugula, kale, parsley. They're not just ingredients, they're natural filters. They purify what's stagnant, soothe what's inflamed, renew what's oxidized. It's like washing from the inside. A small daily ritual of chlorophyll, a spoonful of bitter leaves before lunch, a glass of green juice first thing in the morning. A restart disguised as habit. Blood that flows clean carries more than nutrients. It carries lightness. A simple phrase, but real. When you start consuming living, green foods every day, something changes. Digestion becomes quieter. Sleep becomes deeper. Thoughts become clearer. Because everything is connected. Taking care of the blood is taking care of the brain, the heart, the skin, and a peace. It's the foundation of preventive health, without noise, without rush. Just flow. If you could see the effect of green leaves in your body, you'd see tiny particles of light slowly moving inside. Chlorophyll blends into the blood like a breeze in a closed room. It refreshes, expands, silences fatigue, and more. These leaves are not just nutritious. They are protective. They defend against cellular aging and the oxidation that speeds up exhaustion. All of this with something that fits in the palm of your hand. I remember a lady I met at a small farmer's market in the countryside. She was 92 years old, with firm hands. She sold bunches of kale that she grew herself. When I asked her secret, she said, "I never stopped eating what grows green." That's simple. No supplements, no promises, just the wisdom of the land. And consistency. Because it's not about what you eat once. It's what you choose to repeat every day with intention and respect. Who purifies the blood, clears the eyes. They say the eyes are the windows to the soul, but they are also reflections of the liver. And the liver loves bitter things, loves greens. It works silently for us. But when overwhelmed, it makes the whole body suffer. Taking care of it with living foods is like easing a friend who never complains, but supports you in everything. Eat leaves. Chew slowly. Taste the bitterness. And allow yourself to bloom from within. But there's one detail that changes everything. Sometimes the problem isn't the absence of greens. Sometimes it's what remains, even when you try to change. There's an almost invisible habit, is socially accepted, that drains your energy without you even noticing. And it might be right there, in your morning routine. That's what we'll explore next. And maybe just that will explain why your fatigue never left you. Raw garlic, a Mediterranean classic with medicinal power. There is something here about old kitchens, a clay bowl, a wooden spoon, a faint scent of olive oil, and sometimes the sharp, unmistakable aroma of garlic crushed between fingers. It's not just seasoning, it's a ritual. In Mediterranean traditions, raw garlic isn't just food, it's medicine, protection, longevity in disguise. A single clove, crushed and left to breathe for minutes, carries within it centuries of healing wisdom passed down quietly, generation after generation. The power of raw garlic lies in a compound called allicin. But this isn't about chemistry. It's about what happens when nature is respected in its purest form. When you chew a piece of raw garlic, there's a heat, a bite. But then something shifts. Your breath deepens. Your chest feels open. Your body wakes up. This isn't just digestion improving. It's your immune system remembering its own strength. It's your energy vital being reignited. To create this ritual, all it takes is intention. Before your first meal, crush one clove of garlic. Let it sit. Let it breathe. Then take it raw, with a spoon of olive oil, or tucked into a small piece of bread. And wait. The warmth rises, not just in the mouth, but deep within. This ancient act doesn't just strengthen the body. It teaches it to defend, to resist, to recover, especially in times of vulnerability. Picture your bloodstream like a winding river. Bacteria, toxins, fatigue, they drift like debris. Raw garlic acts like a current that pushes all of it away. It clears, it cannons. That's why in villages where garlic is a staple, people walk longer, breathe deeper, worry less. It's not about avoiding illness. It's about living in a body that remembers how to heal, naturally, without fear, without excesses, just by honoring simplicity. There's a woman I remember from an old travel story. Every morning before speaking a word, she'd eat garlic. She said it kept her honest, kept her strong. And despite her age, nearly 90, her laughter filled the room like a song. Her eyes were bright, her steps firm. Not once did she mention supplements or tests. Only the garlic. It burns, she'd say, but only what doesn't belong. Sometimes the strongest medicine is the one we avoid because it tastes too real. Garlic doesn't ask for praise. It doesn't dress itself in sweetness. It enters the body boldly. It reminds us that healing isn't always gentle, but it is natural. For those who seek longevity not through fear, but through nourishment. This is the kind of truth that matters. A clove a day, a body protected, a life extended by something so small. But the detail most people miss is not everything that looks comforting is truly kind to your body. There's a habit we'll explore next that many treat as harmless, even comforting, but it secretly steals your vitality. A ritual repeated daily, often with love, but rooted in illusion. It's time to bring light to it and offer an alternative that truly supports your well-being. Oats in the morning, a modern choice for a strong heart. There's a quiet moment that happens just after waking, when the world is still soft and your body is deciding how it will move through the day. What you choose to eat then, in that stillness, speaks volumes to your future self. Oats, humble and unassuming, carry a kind of nourishment that goes deeper than flavor. They aren't trendy. They're timeless. And for the heart, they act like a steady hand, calm, supportive, quietly powerful. When consumed in the morning, oats help regulate cholesterol, reduce blood pressure, and sustain energy. But it's not just the nutrients, it's their rhythm. Oats don't sigh. they flow. Unlike processed cereals or sugary breakfasts, oats release their energy slowly, gently, giving your body the message that it's safe, stable, grounded. This is the essence of well-being. Not just strength, but calm strength. The kind that carries you through without rush or crash. To begin this ritual, try soaking oats overnight, a preparation that respects digestion. Add water, a bit of lemon, maybe a pinch of cinnamon. Let them rest while you rest. In the morning, you'll have a base that's soft, warm, and ready to receive the flavors that bring you comfort. Berries, seeds, a touch of honey. This isn't just a meal. It's a message to your body. I will nourish you before I ask you to perform. Imagine your arteries as garden paths. Over time, tension builds, debris settles, the passage narrows. Oats come in like morning rain, washing, opening, softening. That's why this grain is at the heart of the Mediterranean diet. It's not flashy, but it protects. It prepares. It preserves. Eating oats daily isn't about avoiding illness. It's about supporting your inner rhythm, your cardiovascular peace, with the gentlest of ingredients. But here's where the silent error often hides. Many pair their morning oats with something they believe offers comfort, like flavored milks, sugary toppings, or even strong coffee immediately after. This combination, though common, can overwhelm the body instead of gently waking it. That emotional comfort becomes a physiological connection. The oats try to ground. The additives overstimulate. A better path. Simplicity. Let the oats be oats. Add nature, not noise. A woman once told me she began every morning with oats and a single ritual. She would eat her slowly, in silence. No phone, no rushes. Just the steam rising, the texture forming, the scent of cinnamon in the air. It became her meditation. Over time, her blood pressure dropped, her digestion improved, and her mornings became sacred. This is what happens when food becomes presence, not performance. The heart doesn't just need exercise, it needs softness. And that softness can begin with a bowl of oats. Think of it as emotional nutrition. A meal that doesn't ask for your attention, it gives it. Slowly, warmly, quietly. And in that quiet, your body remembers how to trust itself. That is health. That is longevity. That is the kind of morning worth repeating. But what few realize is that real vitality often comes not from addition, but from awakening. And in the next part of our journey, we'll explore how to bring seeds back to life and what they can offer when we allow them to grow before they nourish. Living germination. Seeds that bring youth back. There is something magical about watching a seed sprout. From stillness, life emerges, quietly, without announcement. And yet, inside that tiny green tip, there's a memory of youth. Not metaphorically, biologically. Because when seeds germinate, they awaken their full potential. Enzymes activate. Nutrients multiply. Energy is unlocked. And when you eat a living seed, you don't just feed your body, you remind it how to begin again. Germinated foods are renewal in their purest form. Sprouts, from lentils, mung beans, chickpeas, sunflower seeds, aren't just a trend. They are a return to life at its simplest. When a seed is soaked, it shifts. It sheds what's hard and dormant and opens. In doing so, it becomes easier to digest, richer in enzymes, and fuller in energy. A handful of sprouts carries more vitality than a whole plate of processed food. It's a concentration of life, designed by nature, waiting to be respected. The practice is gentle. Before bed, place your chosen seeds in water. Let them soak, rest. The next morning, drain and rinse. Repeat this for 2 or 3 days, watching them come alive. No machines, no additives, Just time, water, and intention. Add these sprouts to salads, soups, or eat them plain with olive oil and a pinch of sea salt. It's not a recipe. It's a return. A return to how food once was. Alive, whole, sacred. Imagine your cells like tired workers at the end of a long shift. Processed food offers them sugar highs and synthetic breaks, but nothing lasting. Germinated seeds, on the other hand, offer a true restoration. They bring minerals the body can use, enzymes that ease the load on digestion, and life force that your system recognizes as. It's not stimulation. It's support. It's not a push. It's a presence that whispers, you can start fresh. I once met a man who began eating sprouts in his 70s. He'd been tired for years, living off routines that no longer nourished him. Someone gifted him a sprouting jar. He began with lentils, just a few, soaked on his windowsill. A week later, he smiled. He said it felt like drinking light. His eyes brightened. His steps changed. He hadn't changed his life. He'd only begun respecting the life inside what he ate. But many people unknowingly do the opposite. They eat seeds thinking they are nourishing the body, when in fact they were consuming them in their dormant, hard-to-digest form. Raw, ungerminated seeds can inflame the gut, rob minerals, and cause more burden than benefit. We are taught that more seeds is good, but it's not just quantity, it's preparation. The mistake isn't in eating seeds, it's in forgetting to wake them up first. The body doesn't crave volume, it craves vitality. And vitality lives in what is alive. That's the solid shift. Not adding more, but activating what you already have. One seed, a little water, a little time. That's all it takes. And when that seed becomes more than food, when it becomes a symbol of what's possible, something opens not just in the bowl, but in you. But few realize that vitality isn't just about what you chew. It's also about what you sip. And in the next step of our journey, we return to the cup, to centuries-old traditions held within warm, fragrant waters. Because some healing doesn't need chewing, only silence, steeping, and breath. Healing teas, infusions that restore body, rhythm, and soul. There's something sacred about holding a warm cup in your hands. It slows everything down, the thoughts, the breath, even the pain. In that moment, you're not just drinking a liquid, you're receiving a story. Because herbal teas aren't just beverages, they are medicine passed through generations, without packaging, without labels. In every steeped leaf lies the wisdom of those who healed with what they could gather. And that tradition still whispers to us today. Chamomile for rest, peppermint for digestion, rosemary for memory, lemon balm for anxiety. These aren't supplements, they're friends, gentle, trustworthy, ancient. Unlike synthetic medicines that often shout through your system, medicinal teas work like a quiet visitor. They knock gently, offer what's needed, and leave. No side effects, no drama, just a rebalancing. This is the foundation of true health, slow restoration that respects the body's rhythm instead of rushing it. Creating a tea ritual isn't about rules, it's about presence. Choose a plant. Heat the water. Pour, wait, breathe. Feel the aroma rise before the taste even reaches you. That moment between steeping and sipping is medicine in itself. It's a space of stillness, a pause your nervous system rarely receives. You begin to feel not just better, but safer. Because well-being is not just physical, it's emotional. And warmth holds both. Imagine your nervous system like a harp string, stretched too tightly. Loud lives, fast thoughts, endless screens, they pull at that string until it quivers constantly. Herbal teas act like gentle hands. They loosen the tension. Let the note return to harmony. That's why in the oldest cultures, tea isn't consumed in haste. It's sipped, revered, because it doesn't just hydrate, it recalibrates. That is the power of rhythm, not just routine. A woman once told me her tea changed everything, not because it was exotic, but because it was hers. Every evening she would brew linden and lavender and sit by the window. No book, no phone, no place. Over time, her insomnia softened. Her anxiety quieted. Not because of magic, but because of respect. She respected her body's need to slow down. The tea was just the permission she needed to listen. Still, many treat tea as an afterthought. They add sugar, flavorings, drink it rushed or cold. In doing so, they steal its spirit. The practice loses its healing. Because real healing isn't found in the ingredient alone, it's in the way we relate to it. A cup of tea is not a task, it's a ceremony. And when we forget that, we turn medicine into medicine. Sometimes all the body asks is to be warmed. Not stimulated, not fixed, just warmed. Inside and out. That is the gift of chas medicinais. To offer that warmth without needing to fix anything. It's not about solving, it's about softening. And in that softness, your rhythm returns. Your digestion sighs. Your mind slows. Your sleep deepens. That is energy vital, not from speed, but from serenity. But what few people realize is all of these rituals are most powerful when practiced not in reaction to illness, but as an act of love while still well. And now, we reach the quiet turning point, the part where all these insights converge into something deeper, a truth about how real healing begins, not with food, but with the silence between each bite. It's only when we stop running that we hear what the body has been trying to say all along. We fill our days with routines, supplements, checklists, meals that promise energy, but still, we feel tired. Not from lack of food, but from lack of connection. And the truth that few are ready to hear is this. The body doesn't need more to heal. It needs less noise, less confusion, less interruption. Because healing doesn't happen in the doing, it happens in the listening. That fatigue in your bones, that sleep that never feels enough, that craving that never satisfies, none of it is random. It's your body whispering, softly, persistently, waiting for you to choose presence over pressure, rhythm over rush, peelance and over stimulation. The answer has never been hidden. We just weren't quiet enough to hear it. And then, everything makes sense. It was never about a miracle food, a perfect diet, a secret herb. It was about creating safeties, about letting food become a ritual, not a rescue. About letting plants, teas, and simple choices remind the body of what it already knows. How to heal itself, how to rest, how to renew. The answers were always in the soil, in the stillness, in the silence. No, they won't change. The demands, the distractions, the noise of the world. But you can stop getting lost in them. You can choose differently. And when you do, you'll see. Health isn't a finish line. It's a return to what's natural, to what's slow, to what's yours. So let the garlic burn gently. Let the oats ground. Let the green cleanse. Let the tea warm. Let the seed awaken. And let yourself be new again, not by effort, but by remembering. There's a quiet kind of power in choosing nourishment, not as a cure, but as a devotion. Eating for longevity isn't about avoiding age. It's about honoring it, about waking each day and placing something in your body that whispers, I want you to live well. And that's what these foods offer, not just nutrients, but memories of strength, of rhythm, of energy vital that doesn't fade with time, but deepens with care. You don't need to wait for exhaustion to listen. You can begin today, gently. A green leaf before lunch, a clove of garlic in silence, a warm bowl of oats, a living seed, a calming tea. These aren't diets, they're rituals, anchors, ways to remind your body that it matters, that it is still worth slowing down for, that it deserves longevity not through struggle, but through simplicity. And if something in this journey touched your silence, if one image stayed with you, like the seed sprouting on the windowsill, or the tea steaming in your hand, carry it forward. Let it guide one small change. Just one. Because transformation doesn't happen in leaps. It happens in repetitions, in small acts of remembering, day after day. Now is the moment to start. Choose one of these practices and invite it into your day, not as a task, but as a gift. Then return tomorrow, and the next, and watch how your rhythm changes, how your body softens, how your days begin to feel more like yours again. If this video spoke to something you've been feeling, share it with someone who also deserves to age with calm energy. And tell me, what small ritual will you begin today? And if you feel called to go deeper, there's another message waiting for you just above this video. It's a continuation of this path, another step toward living with more peace, more presence, more vitality. Tonight, before you sleep, try this simple ritual. Place your hands on your belly, close your eyes, and say gently, I am allowed to age, softly. I am allowed to feel alive, still.